Assalamu alaikum. This is Hassanul Banna. I welcome you to our 461 project, and here we have designed a robot that can detect and avoid obstacle. Now, if I play this simulation, you can see that our robot has detected an object and it is showing us the related information of that object, and the object is inside the green rectangular box. So now if I play it again, you will see that it will try to avoid this obstacle, and yes, it has succeeded doing so. And now me and my project mates will try to show you how we have created the environment, the obstacles and the robot. So for creating the environment, I went to wizards and then I selected new project directory, and from there I had selected a directional light and an arena. So after that I went into world info, and from there I went into contact properties and added contact properties, and in the contact properties I have selected the Coulomb friction one so that we can have friction. And then I have created some obstacles such as the boxes, cylinders and sphere. So for creating a box I have selected the plus sign, and there I have selected box solid. After selecting the solid, then I have clicked on the children, and there I have selected plus sign again, and there I have selected a shape. And from the and after that I have selected the appearance to PBR appearance, and in the appearance I have set the base color to blue and the metalness to 1, and then I set the geometry to box, and I have selected the size. And after that I have set the bounding object to box, and then I had set the physics to physics, and in the physics I set the density to 1000 and mass to -1. And I had selected physics to simulate the real life scenarios, and in there I have selected recognition color. Then I have added 3 more boxes similarly, and I have also added a sphere and a cylinder. For adding the sphere, what I did was I just changed in the geometry. I just added sphere in the geometry instead of box, and I set the radius and the subdivision accordingly. And in the bounding object I also select the sphere, and everything remains same. I For the cylinder I again selected cylinder instead of box, and in the and added the required height and the radius, and the bounding object I selected cylinder also. And this is how I have created all the necessary obstacles that we are seeing here right now. Now my friend Ashfaq will tell you about how he created the robot. Thank you.
This is Ashwa. Here I will show you how we make the robot. So at first we go to the plus sign. There we saw the base node. From the base node we select the robot. In the robot we go to its children section. In its children section we need to think about the two things. First one is the body of the robot, and second one is the wheels. So first we talk about body. So here we need to give a body. So in the children section we add a shape. In shape we saw appearance. In appearance we will add PBR appearance. Okay, why we will add PBR appearance? Because in PBR appearance we can customize the things. So after that we add the metalness because it is important. So then we go to the geometry. Here we will give the body of our, we give the shape of our robot is box, and we give the size. Then we do the cast shadows because it looks more realistic. Then we need to add the bounding object and physics because it's important and it looks more realistic. So the body part of our robot is done. Now we will move on to our wheel part. Then again we go to the children section of the robot, and there we will add hinge joint because it connects the wheel to the body. So in hinge joint we saw joint parameters. In joint parameters we add hinge joint parameters. After doing that we go to the device section. In device section we will add rotational motor because rotational motor uses to rotate the wheel because it's a robot and it needs to move from one place to another, so it's important. if the wheel is rotating actually. So we so we move to the endpoint. Here we make the endpoint solid. When we make the endpoint solid, then we go to its children and add a shape. In shape, we show appearance, and again we do add the figure appearance and go to the geometry. Here we will add the shape of the wheel actually, and here we chose cylinder because the wheel is look like in a cylindrical shape actually. So we need to give it a height and a radius so that it can match with the body of the robot. So we give the height 0.02 and radius is 0.04. Then after doing that, we need to give it the translation value so that it can come to its original place. Here we can see that the wheel is in its original place and attached with the body. So after doing that, we need to make sure one thing also, we need to give the anchor value same as the translation value. Otherwise, our robot won't move. So then we also need to add the I think the physics and the bounding object because it is also important. Then after that, we will need three more wheels. So we will add the children section of the robot, three more hinge joint, and doing the same stuffs again. By doing this, our robot is complete. Now my friend Ahad will talk about the sensors.
Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Abdul Ahad. Uh, Ashfaq and Hassanur Banna has explained how did we come so far, and we have created the robot body shape and the wheels. And I will now talk about the sensors and the coding part. Here in the robot we have added a camera and a GPS and two distance sensors, and we have added the controller microcontroller code which is in the written in the Python. And in the camera we have also added the recognition part which helps us to recognize the object that is shown in the shown at the at first. And we have also added recognition colors to all of the objects so that the camera can recognize the objects. In the children we have also added a camera shape which was not required, but we have also added that. And in the distance sensors we have added two distance sensors, one in the left of the robot body and another in the right of the robot body. And we have also added and given a name to all the sensors and wheels. For example, for the camera we have given the name camera, and for the distance sensor left ds left ds right, and for the wheels we have given the device name into wheels. And for the robot we have given the name robot so that our code can use them to utilize them and to control them. So in the controller part we have added a robot and a camera object here, and we have also enabled with the time step of 64. In the DS names, we have added the names of the distance sensors and enabled them in the for loop using the for loop. And in the wheels names, we have added the wheels names in a list and then enabled and set the default value for them. And after that we have also added the speeds for the robot so that the robot usually move forward, and if the robot detects any obstacle, then increases the value of the obstacle counter so that we can move the robot to the right or left and after detecting an obstacle, and we set the velocity accordingly. This is how our robot works and detects objects, and it avoids obstacle. Thank you everyone.